Hello everyone, this is PA with my review of Black and Privileged Volume 1. So gotta say that, because when you look at it, it doesn't say Volume 1 until you go and check. As always, this review is brought to you by Candy Cab Chicago and Karaoke Cab Chicago, Chicago's premier winery tours and party bus service. And I'm going to get right into it. Now, this is going to be a little long. I try to keep my reviews to about 2 minutes. This is going to be a long because there's a lot I need to say about Black and Privilege. So, it's a new movie. It's on, I guess, Netflix. I watch it. It might be on more than one service, but it's on Netflix, and it's starring Simeon Henderson and Dawn Halfkenny and a couple of other stars that some people that you may be familiar with are also in the movie. And I'm mentioning that first because those other people who are in the movie is problematic for me because of the quality of the movie. I was very disappointed in a lot of things. I don't know if it was the pacing, if it was the script, if it was the editing. I'm not going to say the acting was bad because it wasn't bad acting to me. Some of the people who aren't really actors, like there's a comedian, local comedian in Chicago. It's based in Chicago and in the neighborhood of Inglewood, but it's a flip on what Inglewood is currently. It's more of what it could be if black people came together to unite, which is pretty much the premise of the movie in its undertone, but it's kind of weird in the way that they do it, and it kind of throws you off. And let me get back to but by being set in Inglewood, and it's if you've watched the news, if you're not from Chicago, if you watch the news and you see a lot of things, a lot of times it might be Inglewood where they're talking about shootings and things. But in the movie, it's no killings. It's hardworking folks, which is hardworking folks in Inglewood, but it's more of a uppity feel. I guess that's the privilege part of it. It's more of an uppity feel of Inglewood than what it is currently. And there's no gangs. It's total opposite of what it currently is as a whole, because it's kind of exaggerated in the movie. There are some nice areas in every neighborhood in Chicago, including Inglewood, but it's kind of exaggerated in the movie to a perfect utopian type of a situation going on there. But the actual quality of it was also off, where it kind of threw me off. Me being a filmmaker, I was a little disappointed because they had these certain actors, unless the people who I'm referring to cut them a deal and cut them some slack, then they had a budget that would have afforded them to have a DP that would know not to take, like right now, I'm doing it now, but I'm just shooting a review. You shouldn't really, and it's not sun outside and I got tent here, you shouldn't really shoot with a window behind you when you're doing a movie, especially on a sunny day and it's not tinted. This tent gives me perfect exposure out there, but if I didn't have tint on this window, then the light would come in and it would be real hard to see my face because the light behind the actual subject is not good. Let me see if I can get, you can kind of see there, you see it's overexposed in here. That happened a lot in that movie, and it was very disappointing to see, because I thought when I first started watching, I was like, hey, it looks good. But as it went on, it was way too many overexposed shots, window shots. I learned this in my first 3 days in my Sony Betacam class in college. You know what I mean? So if you're a DP or a cinematographer, you don't do that. And they did it a lot. And it was a lot of overexposed things. It was a lot of other bad edits and things of that nature. But let me get back to the actual movie. So that was the filmmaker and me kind of like critiquing it, like, come on, man, you could have hired me. I'd have did a better job. But to go into the movie, so it started off where I could see where they were going with the premise. It's a message in the movie, Black and Privilege. It's a message, but I promise you, I have an open area where you can see the living room and the kitchen is an open area. I'm watching the movie. I walk to go get a cup of water. I put my head down to drink the water, put my head back up, and the whole movie changed. It went from we're proud of our neighborhood to like The Purge. and I was kind of like, whoa, what just happened? It was like Stepford's Wives, nice, and then all of a sudden it flipped on its, like it just flipped, and I was kind of like, hold up, what's going on? So I sat down and I kept watching, but it kind of threw me off because it went from them talking about how you support black businesses, how if we all come together and, you know, if somebody moves into the neighborhood, let's embrace them and show them it's a different way to do things as opposed to playing a lot of loud music and not respecting your neighbors and stuff. And then I'm going to use the word they use in being ghetto. And they were taking in people into the neighborhood, but then it flipped on its head when they started. It was The Purge. And I'm not going to say, but if you watch the movie, or when you watch the movie, I can see who the antagonists were supposed to be. They were supposed to be and I'm not going to say it, but you'll figure it out when you watch it. And I get it. I'm like, okay, I know exactly who these people are supposed to be. They are the quintessential version of, if you ever watched any Wayans movies, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So, I got what they were trying to do. And they just went about it in a weird kind of way, especially when it turned into The Purge. The delivery lacked. The acting is not bad to me. I mean, for what it's worth, I didn't have a problem with the acting. A lot of people might have a problem, but I went in thinking like, okay, it is what it is. The budget should have afforded them a better quality looking movie without those overexposures. I would figure. I couldn't find the budget. I searched and searched, but I couldn't find the actual budget. But just some of those actors in there kind of made me feel like it should have been shot a little bit better than what it was. But it has a message in there, and if you can kind of sift through it, I think that you will say, okay, I see what they were doing. They just kind of made it a little dark in conveying the message, a little over the top of what we should do to make our neighborhoods solid. And I get it. So with that being said, I give it my third highest of 7, and that rating is a movie snob. If you have time, check it out. If you have time, I say check it out, give it a chance. You see what they're trying to do. There's a message in there. It's just the way that they delivered it, I personally didn't care for. You may love it, you may hate it, but I think it's worth your time if you can sift through The Purge. Until next time, talk to you guys.